Sivagnanam had been transferred as a teacher to the school in the village of Sembonpuram. One day, he was returning home after buying groceries. Though he had spent around 1000 rupees, the bag in his hand felt light, holding barely 4 or 5 kilos of provisions. Thinking about the rising prices, he walked home with a heavy heart. At that moment, he noticed Sokan, a 50-year-old daily wage laborer, leaning against the compound wall of a house. Not wanting to be seen by him, Sivagnanam quickly changed direction and began walking along another path. Good thing he did not see me. I escaped, he sighed in relief as he entered his house. There was a reason why he had hurried away to avoid Sokan's eyes. He did not want that poor man to approach him early in the morning and ask for 5 or 10 rupees. Earlier, when Sivagnanam had worked at a school in a nearby village, Sokan used to come there for gardening work. It was his habit to ask for just 5 or 10 rupees. Even if offered more, he would refuse, saying, "I only need enough money for tea." With these old memories of Sokan lingering in his mind, Sivagnanam entered his house and began checking and arranging the groceries after verifying their prices. Just then, from the street outside, a loud voice rang out clearly, "Garden work." "Garden work, madam?" On hearing that voice, Sivagnanam immediately understood that it was Sokan asking for gardening work. His wife, Ambujam, who was cooking lunch, lowered the stove flame to a simmer and came outside. Ambujam called Sokan and asked him to clean the garden in front of the house. She then asked how much he would charge as wages. "I need 250 rupees, madam," said Sokan. "I will give only 100 rupees, replied Ambujam. Without arguing or asking for more money, Sokan immediately started the work. Happy that she had found someone willing to work without bargaining beyond what she offered, Ambujam came inside. Seeing her, Sivagnanam asked angrily, "Ambujam, does this seem fair to you? He asked for 250 rupees and you told him you would give only 100. To that, Ambujam replied, "If he finishes the work well, we can add a little more and give it to him." Then Sivagnanam said, "He is the one who used to do gardening work at the school where I previously worked. While cooking lunch, prepare some food for him as well." After finishing his tasks for the day and once lunch was ready, Sivagnanam ate and went to rest. In the evening, when Sokan said he had completed the work, Sivagnanam came outside to pay his wages. He noticed that the work had been done very neatly and thoroughly. On seeing Sivagnanam, Sokan asked in surprise and affection, "Sir, is that you? Are you, your wife, and your 2 children doing well?" Sivagnanam replied, "We are doing well." "Sokan, you have done an excellent job. Here, take the 250 rupees you originally asked for as wages," and extended the money toward him. Refusing to accept it, Sokan said, "Sir, in the morning madam gave me tea. At noon, she served me a wonderful meal with papad and a stir-fried vegetable dish. Moreover, at the school, I have so many times taken money from you just to have tea. I can do as much work as needed to repay the debt without taking any money, sir. So I do not need any money this time. The next time I come for work, I will receive my wages then." To this, Sivagnanam insisted, "No, Sokan. You must not work the whole day and leave without taking anything. That is wrong. At least take something for your personal expenses." But Sokan simply refused. At that moment, Ambujam brought a large tumbler of steaming, fragrant coffee and gave it to him. Taking it and sipping it slowly, Sokan asked, "Madam, have I done the work well?" "I am very satisfied," replied Ambujam. After finishing the coffee, Sokan said respectfully, "I will be going, sir. I will take leave, madam." and walked away without waiting for their response, the sound of his inexpensive slippers echoing softly as he left. Sivagnanam stood there holding the money that Sokan had refused to accept, his heart deeply moved. When he thought about how much Sokan might have taken from him at the school a few years ago, it seemed that it would have been at most 200 or 250 rupees. At that moment, Sivagnanam understood a profound truth. True humanity and gratitude are treasures that cannot be measured by money. Thinking about the noble heart of that simple man named Sokan, Sivagnanam went back into the house, filled with emotion and joy.